is standing, but we will now join Lindsey Nelson in singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. Faculty, students, parents and relatives, distinguished guests, and friends of the university. I am delighted to welcome you to the 161st Commencement of the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. This year was the 132nd anniversary of the founding of the first normal school in the state of Wisconsin. The founding was the birth of what has become today's the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. During these 132 years, over 40,000 students have received degrees from this outstanding institution. This afternoon, over 350 more degrees will be conferred. Commencement is a celebration of accomplishment, of success. It is a time for students, faculty, family, and friends to remember, to reflect, and to anticipate the future. These candidates will accept their degrees, their new roles as alumni in our institution, and begin a new phase of their life. The graduating senior chosen to deliver the valedictorian address today is Ms. Holly McKinney. She is completing a Bachelor of Arts degree in the College of Liberal Arts and Education. Her major is English with an emphasis in literature. She completed minors in French and political science. Ms. McKinney has worked her way through college, usually with several on and off campus jobs. She has also kept her career goals in mind in pursuing extracurricular activities. She has been honored as an honored member of the mock trial team and has served as president of the Pre-Law Society. She took the LSAT required to enter law school in September. Ms. McKinney not only wants to become an attorney, she plans to specialize in international and constitutional law and work with an organization like Amnesty International. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Holly McKinney.
Hello. Today is the day that many of us have been looking forward to for 4 or more years, while others of us have been starting to dread this day. Today is the day when we leave the safe world of school that we have been living in for 16 long years, some of us more, some of us less, and entering what is termed the real world. Some of us will be leaving Platteville with jobs secured and the future planned out for us. Others will be going on to graduate school with their future goals in mind, while still others do not know yet what will become of their future. One thing that we all have in common is that it is time to make decisions that are going to affect us for some time to come. As Robert Frost once wrote, "Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. and be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Like frost, we are once more at the fork in the road. We have been here several times before when choosing what we are going to do after high school and deciding on a major in college. It is time for us to choose our paths in life, this time more permanent than before. We have many paths before us, many ways in which to live our lives, but which path do we choose? When we look to the right, a new, smooth road curves about the flat landscape with no obstacles blocking its path. To the left is another road. This road is an older road with cracks and potholes, not quite as new as the other. The landscape is different on this road. It is filled with hills, valleys, mountains, and forests. The road travels over the streams, through the forest, and tackles the mountains. It is time to choose, time to move on with our lives. If we sit at the fork in the road for too long and contemplate which road to take, life will pass us by. Either we will still be at the fork in the road or another casualty of roadkill, run over by life in the fast lane. If we take the road on the right, we will continue on with our lives, taking an easy route. Our lives will continue without many challenges for us to face. If we take the road on the left, life might not be as easy. There'll be challenges that have to be met and overcome. Obstacles will be in front of us that we must overcome in order to move on with our journey. There are obstacles already waiting for us when we graduate. We are supposedly Generation X, the slacker generation. The generation described as watching too much TV, spending too much time shopping, seldom voting, cheating on tests, not reading newspapers, and caring too much about cars, clothes, shoes, and money. Society has already decided what and who we are and how we will be beneficial to the larger picture. But it is up to us to show the world who we are, to show the world that we look at it differently from the generations before. It is time to proclaim to everyone that we have dreams, goals, and ambitions, and that we are not afraid to meet any tests put before us. The burden is already upon us to achieve higher standards than the generations before, and to show the older generations that we are better than their expectations. Don't let the stigmatizing of our generation beat you. Every generation before us has been labeled by generations before. Every generation has had to face challenges greater than the ones faced by the generations before. This is a repeated phenomenon in American culture. According to William Strauss and Neil Howell, about every 80 or 90 years, America has experienced this kind of generation gap. It is just another obstacle to face and to overcome. We are entering the fast-paced, changing world of the information age. We are facing a world with diminishing resources and a world overflowing with pollution. These problems are different from what our parents or grandparents had to face. We are the cleanup crew, the ones who will have to sacrifice more in order for the future generations to continue down their path. It is up to us to take these obstacles handed down from the past generations, to face them without fear, and to find solutions rather than to contribute to the problems. Not only do we have to deal with the stereotyping of our generation, but there are other obstacles facing us when we enter the working force in the world outside UWP. We are the ones who will be graduating from college with larger loans to be repaid. We will have to work twice as hard as the generations before to make ends meet because of the increases in inflation. More of us are living at home with our parents than any generation since the Great Depression. It is a fact that we will be changing jobs every 4 to 7 years in order to achieve job security. We are the ones living in a world of greater diversity, in which the people who were the majority are becoming the minority, a world which is ruled by political correctness that has been handed down to us from the mistakes of the past generations. We are the ones hindered with and will be paying for the national debt that is increased every year by an incomprehensible 12-digit number. In college, many of us have been disconnected with the world and society. When we graduate from college, we are thrown back into a world which we might not understand. We need to decide how we are going to affect this world, how we are going to mark our place in a world which is fast approaching a new millennium. Each generation has had a different interpretation of what its American dream is. Our generation needs to write its interpretation of the American dream, one which stands out to generations that will come. UWP has taught us not to be afraid to meet our challenges, to overcome obstacles, and to learn from our mistakes. This is the attitude we must have when choosing which path to take. Do we take the easy road on the right, where we will continue with the status quo and continue down a road that does not challenge us? Or do we take the road on the left and meet the challenges that life throws at us? Deciding which road to take is just another one of these challenges that life has given us. Do not be afraid to take a road that you are unsure of, that takes you out of your realm of security and challenges you to new heights. Do not be afraid to set out on your own path, following what is inside of you instead of following the majority. That is what we have been prepared for during our stay at Platteville. Take this knowledge and apply it to your future. Graduating from college does not mean that we must stop challenging ourselves and stop striving for new goals. In order to continue our route, we must meet these forks in the road and take the path which challenges us the most. In our many years of schooling, we have had two goals: to graduate from college in order to get a job that offers security through a good income, and to achieve intellectual advancement. Now we are at that point of our life, and it is time to readjust our goals. In order to keep challenging ourselves, it is necessary to continue setting goals that we must meet. Dream the dreams that seem an impossibility and strive to fulfill them. We must not get bogged down with thoughts of what might have been and roads you wish you would have taken. Set a course for yourself, but be ready to take any detour that comes your way. Life has a way of surprising us with new ideas, new job opportunities, and new roads to take. Take these detours because who knows what is waiting for you? As Robert Frost said, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
Thank you, Holly. It is now my pleasure to introduce Ms. Kathleen Hempel, our principal speaker today. Ms. Hempel is a native of Darlington and attended UW-Platteville from 1968 through 1970. She transferred to Stevens Point and completed a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration with honors in 1972. She joined the Fort Howard Corporation in 1973 and moved up through their ranks of this $1.6 billion paper manufacturing company. She served as Vice President for Human Resources, Chief Financial Officer, and Vice Chairman of the corporation. She was responsible for all of the company's legal, human resource, information technology, and public affairs activities. She completed an MBA at Arizona State University in 1984. She founded Hempel Investing earlier this year and is a principal of the firm. The governor appointed her to the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin system in 1992, and she will complete her first 7-year term next May. It is indeed my honor to introduce to you and welcome home Ms. Kathleen Hempel.
Thank you, Chancellor Markey. I am very honored to be here today. I certainly count my years at Platteville among the happiest of my life. I met my husband here, who is an alumnus, as well my 3 sisters and all of their husbands are. So this is truly a homecoming, and I thank you for having me. Actually, my joy in being here today is diminished by only one fact, and that is that I'm afraid the real purpose of any commencement speaker, at least from the graduate's perspective, was best described by Gary Trudeau, the cartoonist, who said at one time that the only real function of a commencement speaker was to prevent the graduates from being released into the real world until they'd been properly sedated. So, and I have done this often enough to know that every speaker tries very hard not to dispense sedatives. But I have had my share of experiences with college students, at least one of which does give me some cause for concern about this little talk today. When I was with Fort Howard, which is a large paper company in Green Bay, every year we'd hire several hundred college students to work in our plants, and one of my jobs was to give them a little orientation speech and tell them what we did there. And I recall one year, after having spoken to them for perhaps several hours about what I thought the fascinating different ways of paper manufacturing they should know about were to be, I noticed they were starting to drift off. So I decided to stimulate some discussion by asking a thought-provoking question, which had worked for me before. And I said, I would like to know how you would answer the question of where you would spend your time if you suddenly found out that you only had 1 hour left to live. And one intelligent, perky UW-Platteville sophomore looked right up at me and said, Ms. Hempel, that's easy. If I only had 1 hour left to live, I'd spend it right here with you. Listening all over again to the 15 fascinating ways to make toilet paper. And I thought, I must be better at this training stuff than I thought I was. But I remembered how sleepy-eyed this particular student had been just a few moments earlier. So I said, now what specifically would make you want to spend your last hour with me? And without blinking an eye, he said, that way, ma'am, I know my last hour on earth would feel like a lifetime. Now you know what you're in for. So when I was getting ready for this today, I asked myself what topic might kind of wake everybody up and help them get through the rest of these ceremonies. And I searched, and having a daughter about to graduate from college myself, the answer leapt to mind, and it was, where the heck are we going to celebrate tonight? But after that, I thought the next day she's going to think about where she's going to work. And so I thought what I'd like to do is spend just a few minutes talking about maybe landing that job you've always hoped to find, and if you already have it, how you might best prepare yourself to succeed in it. I've been invited here to speak here today, partly because I'm a regent and ostensibly because I've enjoyed some measure of success in my own career. So I do have a few observations that maybe somewhere along the line you'll find helpful. Now, if you're still focused on finding that first professional job after college, I think the good news is that statistics show that as a graduate of the UW system, over 95% of you will find work or decide to continue your education. And according to Fortune magazine, 80% of you will find that job you want within 6 months after graduation. Even with some of the recent turmoil in the financial markets, the U.S. economy continues on a phenomenal roll. But understanding what is out there in the job market is a little bit more complicated than that. It's important to realize that the bulk of job growth nationally has been in service industries and smaller startup concerns. Healthcare, food service, construction have all led the way in hiring. Manufacturing jobs, on the other hand, with which many of us in Wisconsin are familiar and which happen to pay about 15% more than other sectors of the economy, really is not hiring people at the same levels that was once customary, mostly because the prevailing mentality in business today is how to accomplish more with fewer resources, and in many cases that means fewer people. Driving that reality are things that are unlikely to change for some time. Global competition, flat pricing, enormous pressure from the equity markets to create immediate shareholder returns. It's okay to know these things. The point is your prospects for a job are good, but you may have to be a little bit more flexible about where you work, especially as you're starting out. But even if you have to file your dreams away for a little while, certainly don't throw them away. You never know what's going to come up. And that advice comes from someone who started as a secretary a long time ago and ended up as the number 2 person in a $2 billion corporation. So just learn from whatever you start out with. Actually, if there's one basic truth I'd convey about today's work environment, it would be the overriding requirement that you stay loose and be prepared to accept change. Well, actually, I take that back. I think there is only one overriding truth that you need to go out there with, and that's that in real life, there is no calculus. Except if you're a UW-Platteville engineer. And then you may have to deal with it. But for the rest of you, I think you can relax, which is an important part of starting that first job, because that's pretty stressful for everyone. And when I say stressful, it's just this normal inclination when you enter a new workplace to kind of look around and size up the competition and know you're going to end up in a meeting someday where you look around the room and you said, you know, I might not be the smartest person in this room today. Now what am I going to do? And I have one woman's answer to that, and that is that superior intellect in an information-rich and very technological workplace is an extremely valuable asset, and those of you who are in that category have my utmost admiration. But for most of us, that's a largely uncontrollable variable. And luckily, there are two totally controllable variables that will make an even greater difference in most situations, and they are integrity and effort. And the individual, I believe, who's blessed with brilliance but is found to be without ethics or conscience will almost certainly fail. The professional world, as we're learning more every day, is an unforgiving place, and the loss of integrity can be permanent. The second variable that you control is your own time and effort. Your achievement today says that you have the stamina and perseverance it takes. And I can tell you from 25 years of observing people at work that the variations in people's willingness to really work are greater than the variations in intellect. And the level of passion you devote to your job will make a huge difference in your performance. I think my favorite comment on that comes from Will Rogers, who said there's a law of life more profound than gravity. And it's that people are going to be more convinced by the depth of your conviction than the height of your logic, more by your enthusiasm than any other proof you can come up with. One final point, and this may sound strange, but I think it coincides with some of Holly's points as well as what I said earlier. One more way to separate yourself from the pack in an increasingly competitive world is to know when to be patient and when to be courageous. First, patience. All work experience, no matter where you start, is valuable if you just learn from it and put it in the perspective of what you want to do longer term. But don't be surprised if your first job is not as intellectually demanding as the last tough course you had here at Platteville. That's just the nature of entry-level jobs, and we all have to pay our dues. On the other hand, there's going to come that day when you find that professional progress is often a step function. And that means that you go for years with a certain knowledge that you could be doing so much more. And then all of a sudden you're hit smack dab in the face with what looks like the most insurmountable challenge, and you have not the slightest notion where to begin. And I would say that is where excessive caution can be a real liability. And if you choose to run away from what appears to be an overwhelming challenge, you might also miss the chance of a lifetime. So be prepared to face it down. Failure is not the worst thing in the world, and missing out would be worse. So face it down, and you'll be surprised at how well you're prepared, and a lot of that preparation came from your experience right here. Anyway, right now you'd probably define success as just living long enough to get through this speech. So accept my wishes for a great holiday season, and congratulations on your graduation.
Thank you, Regent Hempel. Each year, our faculty and the Alumni Association recognize alumni who have brought honor to this university. Since our alumni include winners of the Nobel and Pulitzer Prizes, members of the U.S. Congress and Wisconsin legislature, and presidents of major corporations, the choices are never easy. Today, we honor 3 of our outstanding recent alumni as models for this graduating class, and in recognition of the achievements and contributions made by all of the men and women who have received an education at the university. I will introduce today's honorees. Each will stand as I do so, and I ask that you hold your applause until all are introduced. Biographies of the honorees are in your commencement program. David Harrow was unable to be here today, but he completed a Bachelor of Science degree in 1983 with a comprehensive major in business and economics. Tori McGuire completed a Bachelor of Science degree in education in 1983 and a Master of Science in education in student personnel in 1988. Tom McKittrick completed a Bachelor of Science degree in Agriculture Education in 1983. As you read through and when you have the chance in the commencement program, our congratulations and appreciation to each of you for the accomplishments which you have brought honor to you and also to your alma mater. Thank you. Mr. Joseph Dresser, President of the UW-Platteville Alumni Association, will now announce the awards of Alumni Life memberships. Mr. Dresser.
Thank you, Chancellor. Graduates, on behalf of the UW-Platteville Alumni Association, it is indeed my pleasure to congratulate you and your families on your graduation today. It is our hope that you will continue your involvement in the UW-Platteville as a member of the Alumni Association. I know that many of you have already joined the association. We sponsor many activities, and I hope that you'd participate in these and that you'll return to the campus often. The Alumni Association serves the purpose, certainly, of keeping graduates connected to graduates, for instance, through the publication of our roster of graduates, but and also keeps the graduates connected to the campus here. But I think we serve a higher purpose, too. We offer a means by which and an opportunity of serving the campus and helping the university, which I think each of us as graduates have an obligation to do. As a part of that obligation, I would like to ask that you show your pride in the degree you received today. I'd suggest that you hang your diploma in your place of work. How about displaying Platteville memorabilia in a prominent place in your home? Or perhaps a UW window sticker in your automobile or a purchase of a Pioneer license plate. There are many ways to show your pride and to keep UW-Platteville visible among your family, friends, relatives, and others. So much for the plug for the Alumni Association. I'll move on to my purpose here today. At each commencement, the Alumni Association recognizes several graduates for their outstanding academic, personal, and professional achievements by awarding them honorary memberships in the Alumni Association. This fall, 3 individuals have been chosen as recipients. I'll introduce them alphabetically, and I'd ask that you hold your applause until all 3 have been introduced. I ask the recipients to please stand in place and remain standing until all 3 are introduced. The first recipient is Charlie Bergman. Charlie hails from Waupun, Wisconsin. He's a communication technologies management major with public relations emphasis. Second honoree is Seth Frigo from Platteville, Wisconsin. Seth? Seth, as I say, from Platteville, he's an English major with a literature and writing emphasis. The third honoree is Rebecca Thim. Rebecca is from Rubicon, Wisconsin, and her major is music education. On behalf of the Alumni Association, I congratulate each of these award recipients and also all you as graduates. Thank you very much.
We are extremely proud of all of our graduates today and will shortly recognize each one of them. However, I would like to give special recognition to a group who have distinguished themselves throughout their academic careers. The undergraduate students graduating with academic honors are designated with asterisks in the commencement program and are wearing gold honor stoles. I would now like to introduce these groups, and would you please remain standing? Will all of those individuals who have achieved the highest honors and are graduating summa cum laude please rise and remain standing? These individuals have earned cumulative grade point averages between 3.75 and a perfect 4.0. Will those students who have received honors and are graduating magna cum laude please rise and remain standing? These students have earned cumulative grade point averages between 3.5 and 3.74. Please join with me in recognizing the accomplishments of these very special graduates. Please remain standing. Now would all of the individuals who are about to receive bachelor's and master's degrees please stand. Mr. Chancellor, as Provost, I certify that the candidates standing before you have completed the curricula prescribed by the university faculty for the degrees of Master of Science, Master of Science in Education, Bachelor of Arts, or Bachelor of Science, and are entitled to receive their degrees from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. I therefore recommend that these candidates be graduated and granted the appropriate diplomas of the curricula completed.
Upon this certification by the Provost that you have completed the requirements established by the university faculty for the various degrees, and with the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin system, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree which you have earned, together with all the rights and privileges attending thereto. Congratulations. Please be seated. Will the deans now present the degree recipients?
Will the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science from the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture please stand? Mr. Chancellor, as Dean of the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture, and representing the college faculty, I present to you the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science from the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture. Will the recipients please come forward?
Heather Jane Forseth. Jason Scott Embramowski. Todd Joseph Adams. Joel Michael Andrew. Patty Lynn Babler Jones. Angela K. Bellmeyer. Charles Dyer Bergman. Frederick E. Borsdorf. Eric Lee Breinig. Jeremy James Briggs. Carrie Ann Chilson. Matthew Sean Clark. Brian Thomas Dobiz. Tina Marie Dressler. Deanne Marie Elmer. Kelly Renee Feebach. Brad Jason First. Richard James Fox. David Furno. Betsy Marie Galbraith. Jennifer Critelli Galvin. Amy Virginia Genta. Christina Marie Guido. Josh D. Gunderson. Gloria Lynn Gutierrez. Scott G. Hansen. Kristen Michael Hayden. Adam A. Helms. Kevin Darrell Henry. Mike David Hillman. Chad Michael Hoppenjohn. Kimberly Ann Hughes. Carl J. Hushett. Todd Gregory Kalish. Thomas W. Castor. Brian J. Clegora. Joseph Michael Kraus. Russell James Crea. Delon Kern. Veronica Lawver. Carl John Leader. Julie Lynn Leifker. Jason Michael Likes. David Joseph Leffelholtz. Kevin K. Logterman. Jeremy Lucas Loomis. Bradley James Laurie. Joseph Edward Makovsky. Jennifer Marie Malin. Stephanie Yvonne Monahan. Rebecca Ann Monson. Jamie Ray Knob. Carrie Ann Nodolf Appel. Jill Eileen O'Leary. Scott Lee Olson. Stephanie Renee Olson. Jeffrey Allen O'Neill. Amy L. Palmer. Gina Marie Parisi. Ryan Joel Pino. Lauren Catherine Radovic. Joseph Richard Rausenberger. Danielle Clarice Rachka. Kelly Lynn Rubenzer. Gerald Marvin Rupplinger. Nirvana Luz Salguero. Jeffrey Carlton Shabo. Charity Ann Betty Schiller. Andrew Mark Shinsky. Leslie Ellen Schmidt. Erin Michelle Schoonmaker. Jeremy Allen Schultz. Troy J. Scholes. Tina Marie Schwartz. John Harold Scott. Robert Raymond Spears. Mark Brian Statler. Charles Russell Steiner. Darren Paul Steinmetz. Eric D. Svensson. Kelly K. Timmerman. Jamie Owen Udelhoven. David A. Weber. Kimberly Louise Wells. Benjamin Dennis Werline. Caleb James White. Jennifer Louise Williamson. Nancy Jane Zabel. Keith Lawrence Zerbel. Paul Barry Zilke.
Congratulations, and please be seated.
Will the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science from the College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science please stand? Mr. Chancellor, as Dean of the College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science, and representing the college faculty, I present to you the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science from the College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science. Will the recipients please come forward?
Jason Paul Witzling. Jason Scott Ellington. Laura C. Alvarado del Campo. Philip John Bain, Jr. Anthony Francis Bauer. Ryan Michael Bauman. Rebecca Jean Baumeister. Rebecca Ann Beyer. Matthew W. Biesterveld. Travis A. Blackburn. James Paul Bovee, Jr. Sarah Ann Bauer. Jennifer Joan Bowling. Gregory Raymond Byrne. James J. Silba. Scott Richard Chilson. Paul G. DeTemple. Alan Christopher Elger. Brent J. Ertl. Daniel M. Foley, Jr. Chad S. Faust. Jamie John Fromm. Theodore James Grebe. Robert John Hannes. Brian Charles Hanold. Melissa Lee Helwig. Deanna D. Hune. David Charles Hughes. Stephen Dennis Jacobs. Joseph Robert Jersa. Brian Patrick Jost. David James Katzner. Carl Richard Keys. Bradley Michael Camus. Lisa Marie Klang. Sheila Ann Clem. Todd Evan Klitsky. Matthew L. Klum. Jason Todd Knapp. Christopher Michael Nickrim. Jeffrey R. Knippel. Robert Carl Knorr. Jonathan Michael Colbrick. Michael Vincent Coal. Adam Charles Kraus. Jason Harold Langreck. Patrick Thomas Lawton. Bruce Michael Lefebvre. Mark Peter Lepak. Brian Daniel Lipke. Frank Sidney Matchnig. Philip John McLaren. Carrie C. Meyer. Douglas Wayne Moore. Kirk M. Nelson. Stephen Matthew Ness. Bethany Nowak. R. Otto Nielsen. Jason Michael Olenketto. Dana Mark Olson. Matthew A. Parman. Ryan Thomas Patterson. Jonathan S. Pinsky. Michael Patrick Ram. Michael Kenneth Rayberg. Jody Lynn Rettenmund. Rodney Allen Rinzel. Mary Rukashaza. Kevin M. Roosh. Travis Carl Ruta. Brian Michael Sassman. Brian Joseph Schneider. Craig Richard Shue. John M. Sowald, Jr. Kevin Robert Stazak. Jason Philip Stover. Andrew Thomas Stren. Matthew J. Sullivan. Michael Christopher Tyson. Anne Marie Thurin. Thomas Richard Vandenhavel. Jason Lee Weber. Justin John Wesser. J. Paul Wheaton. Thomas James Whitehead. Aaron J. Weigel. Alan Lee Wilcox. Scott D. Wolfert. Keith Ronald Wandra. Ryan Daniel Zahn.
Congratulations and best of luck to the new graduates. Please be seated.
Will the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science from the College of Liberal Arts and Education please stand? Mr. Chancellor, as Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Education and representing the college faculty, I present to you the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science from the College of Liberal Arts and Education. Will the recipients please come forward?
Holly Nicole McKinney. Kay Sharon Weisbenner. Jared Lee Burdick. Jenny Lynn Burns. Jason Richard Burt. Michael Thomas Courtney. Holly Renee Deckman. Angela Renee Drawl. Derek J. Faber. Stephen Joseph Farragon. Octavia Cecilia Fote. Marcy M. Foslin. Seth Anthony Frigo. Jamie Ann Furstenberg. Brett C. Gempler. Jeannie Lynn Goldthorpe. Joy Michelle Gribble. Shelby Ann Hauk. Jill M. Hout. Heather Lynn Hines. Meredith Ann Humphrey. Daniel John Jones. Corey W. Knably. Christopher Joel Carnatz. Patricia Grace Keenan. Christopher Maxwell Kleist. Dana Lynn Cranbuell. Heidi Blum Kratzenberg. Johnny Lynn Kindorf. Heather Marie Larson. Heidi S. Lawton. Joshua John Lund. Jennifer Joanna Marin. Jeremy J. Martins. Laura Ann Marks. Shannon Lee McGettigan. Corey Allen McGuire. Keith Allen Medema. Kristen Lynn Miller Wilkinson. Brandon John Miller. Kelly Jo Renee Munyon. Sarah Renee Murphy. Tara Lynn Nearing. Jody Marie Nelson. Lindsay Taylor Nelson. Tina Marie Neville. Sarah Jean Offenbeck. Joel Gerard Olison. Renee Jo Pedley. Brian Shannon Potter. Timothy Meyer Polkerbeck. Teresa Ann Rasmussen. Kyle James Rickert. Martha Sullivan Rockwell. Laura Ann Roger. David Robert Santee. Andrea Lynn Schaefer. Lyle Brett Schneider. Michael Edward Schrader. Michael G. Smoiver. Stacy Marie Snyder. Tracy Lynn Steinoff. Rebecca A. Tim. Ko Ace Vang. Gregory David Van Ness. Heather Ann Vensky.
My warmest congratulations to you all. Please be seated. Will the recipients for the master's degrees please stand? Mr. Chancellor, as Provost and Vice Chancellor representing the graduate faculty, I present to you the recipients of the degrees of Master of Science or Master of Science in Education from the School of Graduate Studies. Would the recipients please come forward?
Lisette Ann Aldrich. Kathleen Angel. Brenda Jo Bowers. Yana S. Bowers. Jana. Stephen Charles Fitzsimmons. Pam Haukness. Rebecca A. Kretschmann. Gretchen Renee McCauley. Jody Leffelholz McDermott. Jill E. McGuire. David J. Meinhardt. Robert Matthew Moore. Georgia Nix. Chad A. Orloff. Spring R. Sherrod. Lynn M. Sisler. Diane Spence. J. Wolfgang Walschlager. Lisa Marie Weed.
Congratulations, and you may be seated.
Again, congratulations to everyone. This ceremony would not have been possible without the time and effort so generously given by a number of groups and individuals. The members of the commencement committee are listed in your program. Milt Mitchell, a distinguished member of our faculty, is commencement marshal. The names of the graduates were read by Ed Deneen, registrar. The university student ambassadors distributed programs and organized seating for audience members. Lead singer Lindsey Nelson, conductor Barry Ellis, and the symphony band deserve our appreciation for the music accompanying today's ceremony. Will the committee, Mr. Deneen, Professors Mitchell and Ellis, Ms. Nelson, and the members of the symphony band please stand and be recognized. As we say farewell to our graduates, I want to give them the opportunity to recognize those that have guided them through their college life with gentle prodding and friendly assistance. Your instructors and advisors have challenged you, provided inspiration, and brought life to the learning process. Faculty colleagues, it is a pleasure to be serving with you. Please rise and be recognized by the graduates. Thank you. Others have provided not only encouragement, moral support, and financial assistance, but care and love as well. Will the parents, grandparents, husbands, wives, children, and grandchildren of the graduates please stand and be recognized by everyone else? Please turn to page 8 of your commencement program. Stand and join Lindsay Nelson in singing our alma mater on page 8.
Alma mater, grand and glorious, we shall ever be victorious. Loyal are we to you, dear Platteville, pioneers e'er will be. We shall win her honor. Praise be ever on her. Onward, upward to the fore. None shall falter evermore. Alma mater, grand and glorious, wrought by loyalty.
Please be seated. The commencement ceremony has been videotaped and will be televised this evening at 7 p.m. on Campus TV 5. Please remain seated until the faculty have left the gymnasium. The graduates will remain to greet their parents, relatives, and friends in the gymnasium.